You may suspect that you have PTSD or even ask or go to a doctor to see if you've got PTSD. Absolutely, after narcissistic abuse, you've got PTSD. It's not even a question, you have it. In fact, you've got complicated post-traumatic stress disorder. I completely and utterly believe people that go through things like natural disasters are going to recover from their PTSD a lot more easily than abuse victims, because the reason is every human has 4 foundations of their inner identity, which they create their life from. And those foundations are love, approval, security, and survival. So in something like a natural disaster, absolutely security and survival are threatened. But once the natural disaster is past, they've got the love and approval. They've got their inner foundation to come back to. So they can recover. They might have the odd nightmare and they may need a little bit of help with that. But fundamentally, the inner core of love and approval is not significantly damaged. Whereas with narcissistic abuse, those 4 core foundations have been highly compromised, usually over a long period of time, which puts you into the trauma and the torment of complicated post-traumatic stress disorder, which is firing off your adrenals and your cortisol, which is putting you in fight, flee, or freeze. And it's exhausting because CPTSD, you may have moments where you feel better, and then by association, there's a trigger that goes off that sends you back into a cortisol bath inside of you and back into anxiety or depression. And you may want to get on with your life and rebuild it, but those triggers feel so bad where you're ending up with things like agoraphobia. I don't want to leave my home. I've got social phobia. I can't just be out free to be myself because of these constant triggers. And if I try to stay away from life, it's like I'm locking myself in a dark room with my triggers and I just want to get in bed and I want to sleep it off. But then I wake up and I'm in dread and fear and the triggers are still going and the obsessive thinking and the stinking thinking. And then you might join a CPTSD group or a post-traumatic stress disorder group of survivors, and they'll say to you, well, you're going to have this for life, and maybe take some vitamin D and look after your adrenals and do some exercise and things to try to manage it. And all of those things are great supplements, but they're not your true healing. The true healing, I promise you, is more than possible. In fact, it's completely and utterly probable, because when you know how to turn inside and pick up and release those activated traumas of it's not safe to be in my body, it's not safe to be in life, I am completely out on my own, I'm on the edge, I'm not filled with, I don't have love and approval, and I don't have my core, and I don't have my inner being left. All of those traumas and those triggers, which are the core basis of what is causing you to be so unable to recover, hoping only to try to manage it, which is a band-aid that's going to keep coming off, and it does, you will come back to health very, very quickly. I want you to know I had complicated post-traumatic stress disorder at a huge level with fibromyalgia, agoraphobia, adrenal malfunction, and I was told I would never recover. I was told I would need 3 antipsychotics for the rest of my life, and I would only be able to function at a percentage of what I had before the trauma. All of that was bunk. None of it was true. And since then, and for many years now, as a result of releasing my trauma and filling with true source, which is love, approval, survival, and security, no matter what we've been through or what somebody else is or isn't doing, I came home to myself partnering in my true self, where I ended up more confident, more safe in my body, in life, and with others, being fully in my boundary function and able to speak up and trust myself and ascertain and lose it all to get it all, and all of the things that we start being able to generate and develop, my whole life became so safe and so at peace and so empowered. And I promise you, no matter where your CPTSD is, and you have got it, Thriver Healing allows you to fully recover from it, where there's no need to manage it anymore. It just doesn't exist. Check out the link with this video, because I really want you to explore this deeper. Realize this is not a life sentence. You don't have to keep living with it. You don't have to keep suffering. There's a way out. I hope this has given you hope, and big hugs and much love to you. Bye-bye.